Hi everyone, I am Megan or the Meowth Vader and welcome back to my channel. I'm going to do the Booktube Newbie Tag as I think I've only posted 1 or 2 videos so far. So question 1, why did you start this channel? I wanted to share my day-to-day life and adventures with the Booktube community. I'm currently teaching English in Korea and I'm reading a lot of books. I also really like talking to people. And so all of this stuff I just kind of want to share and maybe make some new friends, who knows. If nothing else, talk about my ideas, things I like, at least like stuff I'm reading, and have fun with it. What are some fun and unique things you can bring to YouTube? My adventures in Korea. I try to do vlogs, or at least I'm going to, that's the plan. Try to do vlogs, and just kind of show people around my Korea, I guess. My Korea being like the Korea I live in, day to day. And maybe share some stories or things that I've found or things that happened, stuff like that. So, next question. What are you most excited for about this channel? I am most excited to share my thoughts and opinions on books and having discussions with people about books. I love reading. I've always loved reading. And I would love to like talk to people about things I'm reading. So why do you love reading? It shows me so many different like worlds and perspectives. It's a great way to like learn things, put yourself in someone else's shoes, escape to like a fantasy world. It also like brings up and discusses hard topics that I wouldn't normally think about. And so it makes them just way more fun, not fun, thought-provoking, and it helps me like mull them over in my head more. And so that's why I like reading. What series got you into reading? Harry Potter, like everyone else. I didn't really like reading. Like, I liked the idea of reading when I was younger, but I didn't really like reading books. And so whenever we had to do book reports, it ended up that like I would check out a book. I distinctly remember at one point checking out Hank the Cow Dog, because I'm Texan. So Hank the Cow Dog, like Country Dog Detective, and what ended up happening was that my mom read it to me as I like fell asleep because I didn't want to read it, but I had to read it for book report, so she would just read it for me / to me. And this happened until 3rd grade, and then my mom was like, if you finish reading the first Harry Potter before the movie comes out, then you get to pick where we eat dinner, and then we'll go see the movie. And like I was hooked on reading after that. I just consumed the first Harry Potter book, and it was a great memory, and I have great memories associated with it, and it kicked off my love of reading. Like, that's what finally got me into reading. So yeah, Harry Potter and my mom helped me get into reading. What questions would you ask your favorite booktubers? How did you get started? Talking to a camera is awkward. I don't know what I'm doing. I suck at editing. Help. It feels a little overwhelming. Did you feel overwhelmed? That's another question. How did you get through it? So yeah, those are questions I would probably ask them. What challenges do you think starting a booktube channel will be the hardest to overcome? Definitely like my general sense of procrastination as a human and my anxiety like for things need to be perfect, and I know they're not going to be perfect because 1, I'm terrible at editing. 2, I'm doing everything on like a cell phone because I don't have a big old computer here that can like process a lot of stuff, because I'm in another country, so all of my like tech stuff is at home. So yeah, also like people not liking my videos or liking how I talk or things like that is another thing that I'm kind of like worried about. So consistency, getting over my like insecurities, those are things that I think would be the hardest to do with this channel. When did you start reading? I mean, I guess as a baby, I think I answered this in like the previous, that like officially I started reading consistently for pleasure in 3rd grade when the first Harry Potter movie came out. I feel like that ages me, like that tells you exactly how old I was, but like, woo, Harry Potter. So 3rd grade, Harry Potter. Yes. And where do you read? I read everywhere. I read in bed, I read on the bus, I read when I have free time. I read a lot of ebooks and on my Kindle because it's hard to find books in English in Korea. So I read ebooks and I listen to audiobooks. And I have an iPad that I like download graphic novels on. And the library is amazing, and so is like Libby and Overdrive and Hoopla, because all of those help me get things to read, even though I'm a half a world away. Also, I have Kindle Unlimited and the Audible romance package because I like romance books. That leads into the last question. What kind of books do you like to read? Mostly romance. I really like reading romance books. That's just like, that's the genre that's the easiest for me to read and the most enjoyable. I love a good whole like heartfelt read. I typically read like paranormal or urban fantasy, like those are the things I gravitate towards. I really like things that are just, it's like our world, but more magical and more mysterious, and it's just kind of really fun to experience a world like ours, but slightly different. So, paranormal, urban fantasy, mostly romance. I read other things too. I read like young adult books and some just random stuff because I'm in a book club with my friends and my friends pick more thought-provoking reads most of the time. So I end up reading things that we read there. I also really like graphic novels and then some fantasy. I'm not a huge like high fantasy fan, but I do like books with like solid world building and magic because magic is fun. But yeah, so I just kind of read a little bit of most things. I tend to not gravitate towards mysteries and thrillers, but I've read them before and I find them interesting. I studied communications, and so I really like romance books and like young adult books because they're a lot more focused on how people are communicating with each other. I mean, at the same time, it makes me kind of want to like sometimes throw the book against the wall because they don't communicate, and so it's like the whole problem could be fixed if you just had a single conversation. Why is no one talking to each other? But like that's just what makes reading fun. So yeah, that's everything for the Booktube Newbie Tag. I hope you come back to my channel, and maybe I'll start filming during the day so that my lighting is better. But yeah, so I will see y'all real soon. Bye.